Point slope form goes on page 83. Our content objective is we will be able to determine the equations of linear functions when given a point and a slope. Point slope form. Point slope form has a very specific equation, and that very specific equation is used in order to find the equations of lines. When you're given a slope or an m and you're given one point, and that one point is going to be known as x1, y1. So if you're given a slope and a point, you can find the equation of that line using this formula. So we're going to practice. We're going to take this slope of 2/3 and this one point, -3, 4, and we are going to find the equation. So the first thing I need to do is I need to write down my y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That is going to be given to you on a formula chart, but there's no reason why you cannot memorize that. That's a very easy equation to memorize. So we need to start plugging in these values. So I'm going to have y minus my y1, which was 4, so y minus 4 equals my slope, which is 2. Why is that having such a hard time being written? Which is 2/3. Come on now. There we go. Which is 2/3 times x minus my x1, which is -3. So if I subtract a -3, I'm really going to be adding 3. So y minus 4 equals 2/3 x plus 3. I can simplify. Y minus 4 equals 2/3 x plus 3. I have to distribute. When I distribute, I see y minus 4 equals 2/3 of x plus 2. And then if I add 4 to both sides, I end up with a final equation of y equals 2/3 x plus 6. That is my final answer. So the steps that we had to do there. First thing we did was we rewrote the equation with a formula. The second thing we did was we plugged in values. And then the third thing we did was we simplified. And that involved distributing and all that good business. For these next two examples, I'm going to just write the equation up top for us. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then what we'll do is we'll go from there. So for example 2, my slope is -2, and my x1 is 0, and my y1 is 5. I'm going to rewrite the equation as y minus 5 equals -2. I'm having a really hard time writing my 2's today. Times x minus 0. Well, x minus 0, we already know that that's just x. So I'm going to have y minus 5 equals -2 times x. And then I add 5 to both sides. These 5's cancel. Y equals -2x plus 5, because I know I cannot add -2x's and 5's together to get some number of x's because they are not like terms. So example 3. Example 3, we have an x1 of -4. We have a y1 of 2. So y minus 2 equals my slope of 3. And x minus a -4, so really adding 4. Go through and distribute. Y minus 2 equals 3x plus 12. So if I add 2 to both sides, these 2's cancel. Y equals 3x plus 14. And that's my final answer. Example 4, we have an x1 of 6, we have a y1 of -1. So when we get to work, y minus y1, so if I have a minus a -1, I'm really adding 1, so y plus 1 equals my slope, -1 times x minus 6. Then distribute, so y plus 1 equals -x plus 6. Subtract 1 on both sides. Ones cancel. Y equals -x plus 5. Example 5. x1, y1, y minus y1, so really we're adding 3. Y plus 3 equals my slope, -4 times x minus 1. Then we distribute. Y plus 3 equals -4x plus 4. Subtract 3 on both sides. Y equals -4x plus 1. Okay, these last 3 examples, I'm going to do 2 of them with you, and then I want you to do 1 of them by yourself, and that's what I'm going to be looking for when I come to check the notes. And also, that same problem will be half of your quiz at the end of the day on Thursday. So first thing we need to do is we need to find the slope of the 2 points, and then we need to write an equation for the next 3 examples. So let's write down the slope formula. The slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that's going to give us our slope. And then we also know that the point slope form is y minus y1 is going to equal m times x minus x1. Okay, so we're going to go from there. So let's take a look at example 6. We have an x1, y1, x2, y2, and then when we figure out the slope, -7 minus 1 over 0 minus 2. -7 minus 1 is -8 over -2. That simplifies to a positive 4. Positive 4. So that's going to be my m. So now, next thing I need to do is just go back and use the point slope form equation. So y minus my y1, which was 1, is going to equal my slope, which I just found out was 4, times x minus my x1, which is 2. Distribute. Y minus 1 equals 4x minus 8. Add 1 to both sides. Y equals 4x minus 7. So these are kind of time consuming, but it's alright. We're going to get done, and there's just something that feels so satisfying by doing a whole lot of math work. Alright, example 7. x1, y1, x2, y2, -2 minus a -6, so really adding 6 over 2 minus a -6, so really adding 6. So -2 plus 6 is going to be a positive 4, and 2 plus 6 is going to be 8. So this is the exact opposite of the last one. Well, not the exact opposite. Same sort of numbers, similar. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. 4 divided by 8, that simplifies to 1/2. So my slope is 1/2. So I'm going to go back, fill in the equation, y minus y1, so I'm really adding 6. It's going to equal 1/2 times x minus x1, so I'm really adding 6. Distribute. Y plus 6 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Y plus 6 minus 6 on both sides. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. And then you need to do example 8. That's it for today. The quiz on Thursday will have 4 point slope problems for you to solve, one of which was that example 8. So if you do example 8 and you understand example 8, then you should do just fine on the quiz. Thank you very much.